Welcome to the Missouri Valley preview show. Allison Pohlman, the head coach at Drake, 29 wins last year. Another great group coming back. I don't know if you're going to be able to wipe that smile off your face all the way through March.
You're definitely right there. Just like you said, I mean, a lot to look forward to. And you speak of returners, and you just speak of, just the history and tradition of Drake women's basketball. And of course, I'm smiling, of course, like it's nice and early. And got a lot of great players, got a lot of great things coming for our program.
You don't coach effort. You don't coach joy. You coach kids that love being around each other. How much fun is that for you?
Oh, it's a walk in the park. I mean, you got to love coming to work. You got to love this institution, and it's an amazing position to be able to be in, where, you talk about joy and gratefulness and just loving the game. I mean, this game is phenomenal, and the trajectory and what we've done with women's basketball, and so many fans and so many people talking about it. We got a lot of great things to talk about here at Drake too.
It feels like Iowa's the epicenter of a lot of things around college women's basketball. I would say the same thing about Columbia, South Carolina. There's just such a great fan base around the sport. Iowa has always supported women's sports. Why is that?
I think back to like your comments as far as like hardworking, gritty young women who are, they just want to lace them up nice and tight, and they get out there and they put their heart and soul into everything that they do. And so you're watching this through sport, but it's also, the great part about it is we get to watch that happen as they step into life. But I think that's what makes, the brand of basketball around here a ton of fun to watch, because you get to watch these women put their heart on their sleeve and let it all hang out.
In baseball, we call it a really good battery when you got a good pitcher catcher up the middle, right?
Right on.
Base, right? You got a pretty good battery up the middle too, with Katie Dinnebier and Anna Miller. Talk about their improvement together and what we will see this year out of those two as they lead your team.
Yeah, well, it's really difficult to think about them as seniors. You try not to put them in any sort of class besides that, like, they're amazing women who get to step on the floor together. But, you never think of it where these young women get to add layers to the game. And we've watched Katie and Anna continue to do that all summer long, and now stepping into the fall. And so very, very, very lucky to be able to have them kind of at the forefront, but they're surrounded by other great players and other great pieces. So, I think Anna and both Katie, with what they do, they also have a huge appreciation for everyone else surrounding them.
How do you keep this group grinding at the top level and keeping them so selfless in the way they play the game?
Yeah, well, I think all of it's really centered around program over everything. Like what they're doing is very Drake, centric. They're going out there to represent their institution, their school, and themselves ultimately. But it's all about really just making sure that our program has continued success.
You have settled in as a really good head coach, and your program definitely reaps and seeks the pleasures of fun, loving the game. Fans, people. I'm not saying this the right way, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have come so far in your ability to keep your culture at a high level. It's not easy. You have to work on it every day. What are some of the things that you do every day, Allison?
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, it's something you have to continue to work at. And so I think it's just really trying to stay in that mindset of just like the servant's heart of wanting to continue to stay involved. Like, I think it's pretty easy to place the blame or do things where you don't want to do them. I think it's amazing. I love practice. I mean, honestly, if I could still step back in, I would love to, but I love that, just every single day walking into the gym with a lot of people that I absolutely positively adore and love, and then fully know that they can take steps to continue to get better. And so I think that's what keeps, this train a moving on through. And it's just been exciting to be a part of.
I see the game through an offensive lens. I think if you score, you can set up and play any defense you want. If you're constantly playing in transition, then you're constantly worried about defense. How do you see the game?
I would echo exactly what you said. I absolutely positively love. I mean, I coach both I feel like for a number of years, we coached primarily just offense. I think we're adding, a number of layers. You can't say you don't coach defense when you've got the defensive player of the year, but she sure makes things, seem pretty easy. Along with Katie Dinnebier, who's on the all defensive team as well. So we definitely do both. We really focus and make rebounding a huge, huge priority. But man, offense, it's fun. Like what's your quote? What's your quote, Debbie? Shoot till your arm falls off. Like
shoot till your arm falls off. Allison, I don't know if I ever said that about you as a player. I'm trying to think if I ever would have said that.
Probably not. Probably not. You're probably like, pass it to someone else who can make a shot.
Well, you know what? Passing is such an important part of what you guys do. You advance pass, you move the ball, you play with tempo north and south, you play with tempo east and west. I think the cadence with which you run your stuff is at a high level, an elite level. Yeah. Every year you seem to be one of the top teams and programs in the country in assisted baskets, which is a number I always look at when I watch your teams. What do you say about that? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. Thank you for the compliment. I think it's an amazing, amazing style to play and embody, and it suits our players. We've got a lot of very, very high basketball IQ women who, begin to understand, they get really, really comfortable. And so I also think what's awesome is each year we're able to add different layers completely based on our personnel. And so one of those things is consistency in how we do pass it and taking care of the ball. But I honestly think that sort of stuff, that's what makes basketball fun.
I've been around a lot of programs that start practice with the shell drill on defense. I'm guessing you don't start practice with that.
As a player, we did. That's been a long, long time ago. But no, there is no shell drill to start practice by any stretch in the NAP Center.
We know you have Anna Miller anchoring the middle in a pick and pop threat. We know you've got Katie Dinnebier, the player of the year last year, and will be the lead candidate to be player of the year again this year. Who else should we be looking for that might be able to complement those two at such a high level for your team to get back to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think one of the young ladies on our team that doesn't get a ton of airtime is Courtney Becker. And I think if you looked, consistency is her game. Like if you look at her numbers, we beg her to try, to shoot it a little bit more, but she's ridiculously consistent, whether that's inside, outside, on both ends of the court. She rebounds the ball extremely, extremely well. I think she's going to be one that we find ourselves continuing to talk about. And then I think, from that point on, we've got another senior in Ashley Iams who will garner herself a lot more time. Ava Hawthorne jumped onto the scene in the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, an overtime game against UNI. I thought it was phenomenal, the moxie that she was able to show, and then from there on, I could keep listing people, but I do think, the layers continue to keep developing. And I think the great piece about it is we've got a lot of options that could be noteworthy as we start this amazing, amazing season off.
Allison, everybody loves their team right now, right? This is the best time of year. You're getting ready to start practice officially. They're done with the strength, they're done with the preseason part. This has got to be a fun part for you with everyone that's returning. Have you ever been in a position as a head coach where you've had this much experience returning on a team with this much expectation?
As far as this much, maybe you look at last year as a potential. Maybe you look at necessarily the year before, but you talk about head coaching, like I'm headed to year 4. And so I feel like you can name all of them because it's just so exciting to be able to, to have these people that want to come back and continue to grow our culture and to continue to play this style. Like it's definitely very, very blessed, very lucky. But each year it's a new adventure. It's a new journey, and looking forward to kind of hopefully having some notable experiences and moments from this year too.
We are looking forward to it also. Good luck as the season progresses, and thank you for being on the preview show with us.
Thank you, Debbie. Thanks again for your time. Have a great year.
Well, there's a famous guard from Des Moines, Iowa. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking Caitlin Clark. I'm not talking about Caitlin Clark. I'm talking about Katie Dinnebier, the Missouri Valley Player of the Year last year at Drake. Katie, I'm so glad to see you and spend some time with you. Thanks for being on the preview show with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you get that comparison a lot, I bet, don't you? Caitlin Clark's having a heck of a year. I call it Clarkonomics. She's revolutionized a lot of what our game is right now and has brought a lot of eyes to it. What do you see?
Yeah, it's so amazing just to be a part of this time, a period of basketball. And Caitlin's done so much for the game, and watching her not only in college and now in her professional career, but also growing up in Des Moines here, playing against her in high school, playing on the same travel team as her. It's just been really cool to see what she's done to the game. And she's really enticed a lot of people to watch women's basketball. So just to be a part of that, especially in the state of Iowa, has been something that's super special.
Yeah, and I would not give any slight to the fact that you've done a lot of the same things that Caitlin has done on maybe a smaller scale, right? Because nobody's done what Caitlin has done ever, anywhere. But on a smaller scale, for what you have done in your own community around the Drake program, consistently keeping the culture at a high level, how much responsibility do you have, and how much responsibility do you take in wanting your culture to be really high?
Yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons I came to Drake, just because of the culture of basketball here in the Des Moines community. We have amazing fans and amazing community. We get people that come out to the games. So really just encouraging people to come to games, inspiring the youth. I just hosted a youth basketball camp in my hometown, so that was super cool to get young girls and boys to just come and get inspired to play the game, and just learn different life lessons through the sport of basketball. I think that's what's so special, because yeah, it's a great sport, but there's so much more to learn than just a game.
Well, Katie, you had 18 points a game last year, 7 assists. You led the league in multiple different categories, and you are a leader. You're a winner. You've been a winner every time you've laced it up. Now you're the player of the year, the reigning player of the year. Is that pressure, or is that more opportunity for you and your teammates?
I think it's definitely more opportunity. Yeah, it maybe puts a target on my back, but I don't really look into that much. I just love the game, and I go out and give 100% every chance that I get to step across the line. So I think going in with that high expectation, it's a lot to live up to, but just hoping to bring the team back to another MVC title this year.
Another title, another NCAA tournament appearance. Explain to me the last 2.6 seconds of the Missouri Valley Championship game through your eyes.
Oh, gosh. A lot of uncertainty, but so much faith in our team. I think that's what was so special about our team the last 2 seasons, really, and hoping to carry that into this season as well. But we never had a doubt in our mind that we were going to win that game. We all knew that shot from Anna Miller was going in. So I think we had a lot of faith. We have a lot of Drake spirit, and we just hoped and prayed and did what we do. And I think that just attests to our program here at Drake. We go with the flow, and we just play basketball. And I think that last 2.6 seconds was just that. We were just playing the game of basketball, something that we love, and it went in, and it happened to work out the way it did, and got us a berth to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, your spirit about you and the way you play is such pure joy. Where does that come from?
I just love the game. I love being competitive. I love stepping across the lines and just giving it my all. I hope that that's what people can see when I'm playing. I just like to smile and have fun with my teammates. And we have such a special group of girls and a great coaching staff that just makes basketball fun. And that's what's so special about Drake.
What about this year? High expectations. Preseason poll is going to have you first. You're going to be in the mid-major poll. You're going to be ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, I think we should be. So we have a really good team coming back, and we've had a great summer. Our newcomers, they fit in well. We have a lot of team chemistry. We've spent a lot of time together on and off the court. So I think we got another special year brewing, and I'm just excited. We talk in the locker room every day. We're just excited to play basketball again. So everyone's ready. We're on the edge of our seat.
When you're coming off the Missouri Valley Player of the Year campaign and you've got a whole summer to get yourself ready for next year, you had a target on your back last year. Teams were trying to stop you. I know the mental part of the game is really important to you, how much film you watch, how much you value the IQ and the analytics side of it. Tell me what we're going to see that might be different this year about your game.
Yeah, I'd say even since my freshman year, something that Coach Pohlman has instilled in me is looking to shoot the ball not only at the rim, which is something that I feel I do consistently well at, but shooting beyond the arc too. So hopefully just getting a quicker release and shooting more 3-pointers. That's what I'm hoping to add to my game this year.
Well, Katie, you're a 50, 40, not quite a 90. You're 86% from the free throw line. I would say that's something you probably need to work on. 86%. Yes. I mean, not many players have a 50, 40, 90, and certainly to be a point guard with the ball in your hands all the time is such an impressive number. It speaks to your work ethic in the off season and how much you value team. Thank you, Katie, for being with us on the preview show.
Yep,
It is my pleasure to be joined now on the Missouri Valley Preview Show with the Anna Miller, the lockdown three-point shooting post player for Drake. Anna, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Debbie.
Come on, Anna, like 2 times Defensive Player of the Year. That's amazing. How'd you do it?
Honestly, I don't. It's a very great honor. I think I was not anticipating that I would get it 2 times in a row, but I think a lot of it has to do with our system and the defense that we play, and just the trust that my teammates have in me. That really allows me to just continue to push myself to do better on defense and succeed.
Yeah, I mean, trust is an important factor in D because it allows you to press up on teams. It allows you to change your defensive scheme and your ball screen coverage. It has a lot to do with protecting the rim. In today's game, it's a lot of threes or at the rim, right? So you have to have post play that can blow all that up, and you can blow it all up. Is it IQ? Is it footwork? Is it a combination? What is it?
I think it's a combination of both. I guess we do a lot of like film breakdowns sometimes of our like the opponents and trying to figure out, what do they do and when do they do it, specifically for post defense. And then as far as footwork, I think that's something that in college I've just continued to work on and has really allowed me to excel, because it really is about beating my opponent to the spot and then being able to kind of predict what they're going to do and then meet them there before they get there.
Take me through the last 2.6 seconds of the Missouri Valley Championship last year.
So 2.6 seconds is crazy to me to like look back on that. But basically we were running a play. We've ran, I don't know how many times during practice, end of game situations. And to have that play in that moment, it was like, okay, wait, I'm good. Like we've practiced this. And then the ball was supposed to go to Katie. She wasn't open, and somehow the ball got to Courtney. I don't know how, somehow the ball got to me, and then somehow I shot the ball. Honestly, it's all kind of a blur. I don't really remember most of it. But I remember watching the ball bounce on the rim, and I was like, please go in, please go in, please go in. And so it went in, luckily. And that hook shot that I shot, I had been practicing that for like the whole year. And I think that was the first hook shot that I made all year. And so it felt really good to have that practice pay off in that moment. I guess was the perfect time. I was saving it.
What a perfect lesson to share about repetition and doing the things that seem tedious and boring every day. Coaches try to jazz it up, but it really comes down to just the pure basic fundamentals. Like, tell me a little bit more about breaking out the hook shot.
Yeah, that was my, I guess, last season. That was I'm putting this in over the summer goal, and I practiced it. It must have been every single day for the whole year. Just getting reps in on that. I mean, not like ridiculous numbers of reps, but at least like 10 or more a day. Just like you said, the repetition of it. And I think I shot it a couple times throughout the year, didn't make it, but yeah, it was just really cool to see it pay off, those hours of just working on my form and that. Yeah. I
love it. I mean, I'm a big believer in repetition over and over. Okay. So let's transition seamlessly from defense to offense since you brought up the hook shot. So I'm a big believer also that the screen assist or the hard rim runs change the space and our stats that we should be keeping. When you play with a player like Katie, who sees all 9 players and reads the floor so well, how valuable is it your ability to be so mobile to run to the rim every time and then to operate from there?
Yeah, I think Katie has just tremendous vision of the court. And I think that really allows me to seek out those opportunities. I think our team does a really good job of finding the open people. And so that is encouraging for me. Like, oh, I'm going to sprint to the basket, see if my defense isn't with me, or I'm going to cut hard on this play or try to draw two or something like that. But I think, playing with them, it really is just, and specifically with Katie, that does really show me like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep looking because she's going to find me if I'm open.
So you said you added the hook shot last summer. What did you add this summer?
This summer, I'm working on some turnarounds, but also just trying to maybe implement the hook shot at a little bit of a higher success rate.
All right. We're expecting to see it, not just from 5 feet. I want to see it from 10 feet off the glass.
Sounds great.
All right.
Work on that. Yeah.
All right, Anna. Hey, it's great to see you. Thank you for being with us on the Missouri Valley Preview Show. Congratulations on last year and best wishes for the non-conference coming forward.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Debbie.